Hi everyone, this is Father Barry, and it's Saturday, May 8th, and we're in our journey called Day to Day with St. Joseph. We're studying St. Joseph from February 1st to December 8th, Monday through Saturday, in 10-minute videos, or 11, 12 minutes, 9 minutes, as I try to relay things about St. Joseph to you and what people have appreciated about Joseph. So yesterday he was talking about the women's view of St. Joseph and what they had to say that would be a little bit more enlightening to me, who first see Joseph in a male way, most see Joseph in my own male gender, and just trying to understand how they see him. When I say they, how women see Joseph. So women see Joseph as a role model is one of the things I heard, and they think that it would be nice if we could have more Joseph in the young men and the men of today, that we would have more of the spirit of Joseph. And so this is really one of the reasons for a year of Joseph, this year of faith, is to let this intercession of Joseph come. And of course, he's here to help women, not just men. And the women said that though he's a male figure, they see his gentle care for Jesus, with also, teaching Jesus obedience and teaching Jesus to work hard. And, so there's discipline, but there's also that TLC, the tender loving care, and how a child really needs it and a boy really needs it. And so women and men in the home, as father and mother, they realize the impact they have on a young person growing up. And they say that we're inspired by the impact of Joseph on Jesus, and it's a humble impact, it's a modest impact, it's an impact not asking for any recognition. And they said that kind of defines women in the home. They often aren't really credited enough with the wonderful work that they do in loving their children, or even loving and supporting their spouses. But they just do it. They're not looking for any award, and there is no award for it. The best reward is the appreciation of those whom they love, their children and their spouse. So they said that Joseph is a role model of workers, someone that works hard. So women say we can work hard too, using Joseph's model. Okay, but he also took his Sabbath. I made a whole tape on that. So it's like, yeah, I agree that he was a Sabbath practicer. You need your downtime. You need your self-time. You need your family time, your spouse time. They said he's a model for fathers and husbands. And so the women said, we sometimes get put into the father or husband role because he's not there or he's missing. And so, but we know we can't really fill it fully. And so we're asking St. Joseph, help us. How do we help our children have the masculine Christian male influence? Where do we get it? They said that thank goodness for godfathers, and thank goodness for sponsors in confirmation, and godparents. Thank goodness for their brothers and for uncles that may step in and see a need in their own home for the Joseph model. So they said that one of the things I liked about Joseph is that he's decisive. He's decisive. And Mary doesn't question that Joseph is getting guidance from God. He's a God-fearing man. But when he gets the dream or gets the message, he's decisive. And they said, we like that about Joseph. As we continue here on Saturday, the women said that for their point of view of Joseph, they'd like him as a protector, as a guardian. And they said that men, this is their task. This is what God expects of the men, to live this role. But they're not always protecting and guarding. Even of the church, they're not there enough to step up and be the protectors, the guardians, and the responsible men for their parishes, for their church, for their home, for the faith of their kids. And they said, oh, we need St. Joseph so much to bring that spirit into our home, into our family, into our parish. So these were things that they said about Joseph. And so some of the women and the articles I was reading, they were praying for the recovery of the dad figure, the recovery of the husband figure in the church. And they've heard some things like from Pope Francis about this and the need for the family to kind of get rebuilt and for fathers to step up. And they said, oh, we really need the recovery of the man in the house. And we're women, but we don't want to take away. We want all inclusion. We want to be given our full part in the family of God. But we want to take away anything from the men and their part and their God-given roles. So they say, this is really something in this year of Joseph that they would like. They look and they see a world where boys sometimes are really misled by the culture, by society, by the media. They get involved in bad things like gangs and stuff and wrong affiliations, or else they see boys that become loners. They're into odd distractions. They become outcasts. And they said it's often the dad hole, as one woman said it, or the man hole. She said manhole. It's not like the manhole like you walk into the manhole down into the sewer stuff. But she said the manhole that there's the man's missing where the child needs him or the family needs him. The manhole, the dad hole. I was like, okay, I get it. So they said that young boys without fathers often fall into these loner, distracted things, or looking for other kinds of affiliations. I know this one woman said her son was involved in lots of other men that were gay, just looking for the affection that the father that was absent in their home. And she understood why her son was going in this direction without even really having any identification as being gay or male attracted, but it was his need for love from a male, and it should have been from his dad. So then we get into the deep end of the pool, and some of the women were pointing to some articles to me about the dad-deprived males are often the ones that are involved in so much violence today in our society. I was pointing to an article that says most mass shooters are dad-deprived males. Now, this article was by a man, but the women were saying, yes, the key commonality for most mass shooters in the U.S. is that they are male and they lack a father figure in their lives. It's a common denominator among mass shooters. The most obvious is that they're male, 98% are male, and another second common denominator is that they're almost all dad-deprived males. Okay, so these awful news reports of shootings, at schools, malls, and public places tend to be boys who are suicidal, depressed, and dad-deprived. And the recent shooter in Indianapolis a year ago did not have a father because in his early teens, his dad committed suicide. In another case, Stephen Paddock, who killed 58 in that mass shooting in Las Vegas, experienced his father imprisoned and went lengthy periods of time without seeing him. And Adam Laza, who authorities say opened fire in Newton, Connecticut in 2012, also did not see his father, who was divorced from his mother. And a picture from the article. Just look at that young man, and he so much needs direction, and he's not getting it. The Boy Crisis is a book that was written by an author named Warren Farrell, and he said that this guy that opened fire in Sandy Hook, he fit into the signs of boys being terribly hurt, and he said there are 63 signs of a male depression, suicide inventory, and he said that counselors and psychologists should be paying attention to using such inventories, because there's a lot of young men today that are hurting. But the answer is the church should be supplying, the men who can bring some health to these young people. Now, some young people are just gone out of their mind, and they have wonderful dads and wonderful mothers, but they just go off, and we don't understand mental disorders, and we don't understand violence and hatred welling up in a person. But so it's kind of a downer today on this Saturday to be finishing about things happening in the culture to young men, or young men that become men that are all broken and messed up. But it's just more the reason to pray to Saint Joseph for his help in this wounded society.